What is up, YouTube? Z Dragons here, back with another video for you guys. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the likes and the views. We actually had one of our videos to hit over 100 views, which is honestly phenomenal. Never expected it when I started this channel. So if you guys do like the content, please make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep giving you guys more content. And in today's video, we'll be going over Green Dracula Mihawk. He is a 5k power, 5 life monocolor leader with a type 7 Warlords of the Sea. If your opponent's leader has the slash attribute, this leader gains plus 1000 power. Activate main once per turn. You may rest one of your cards. If there is a character with a cost of 5 or more set up to 3 of your Dawn cards is active, then you cannot play characters from your hand during this turn. And just to highlight some key MVPs of this deck, we have the 1 cost 2k counter Kikunojo, which end of your turn set this character as active, which is actually very good with our leader effect. Be able to just rest this card, play out this card turn 1, rest this card with our leader effect, and restanding 3 Dawn, which is and then restanding this card end of the turn, so our opponent cannot swing into it. Very nice. As well as this 5 cost Perona, being able to stop 2 of our opponent's cost 5 or less from being able to attack next turn or even block, as it does state that our opponent cannot use those 2 characters to be rested until the end of their next turn. This was another very nice card, as well as having the on KO ability to then cheat out another cost 5 or less from our hand. This card was another MVP. Obviously, as well as the 9 cost Mihawk, being able to play it out and immediately rest it with our leader effect, stopping our opponent's boss type characters from being able to swing the next turn. And of course, the demonic aura 9-star event, being able to just finish off our opponent, resting their blockers and their Dawn cards that can be used for events. Now let's get on into the video, guys. Alright guys, and we'll be versing blue, yellow, Boa Hancock this game. We do see a lot of early game cards here, so we will look to keep this hand. Seeing a nice Perona Searcher that we can continue to rest with our leader effect to restand 3 Dawn, and a nice Koshiro blocker to protect our board. So we'll look to play out the Perona. Grabbing a slash type character. So we are going to 4 Dawn. We can play out the Mihawk and cheating out this PRB Zoro, or we can cheat out this Tashigi. We'll grab the Tashigi blocker and we'll pass the turn. Bow on her 3 Dawn turn, playing out the Grandma Neon to change her top of her life, kind of working as a Hiyori. Bow is swinging 5,000 power into us. We will give a Perona, leaving 1 Dawn active, and we do see another Perona, which is nice. So we can look to play out the Mihawk, cheating out the Tashigi. And then we can use our leader effect to rest the Perona. Oh, and that was a misplay, as we do not have a cost 5 or more to do that. So we will attach 1 to our leader and just swing 6. And they do give us a Slaver event, and we'll pass the turn. Yeah, that misplay, a little bit of an error on my part. However, not the end of the world, just to rest our 1 cost Searcher. But it is going to be a little bit unfortunate that I can't do it the following turn, because they will probably use their Lilith to clear my Perona. But I think we should still be okay. They do swing 6 into us, and we will take that. seeing a 9 cost Mihawk, and they do attach 1 to swing the Perona, and we will let that go. Now onto our 6th Dawn turn. We can use the Perona to stop both of their characters from resting, which will also stop Boa from blocking, because to block you do need to rest. So we'll play out the Perona, stop both of their characters from resting. Then we will probably go wide, swinging 5s. Or should we go? No, we'll go wide. We'll swing 5, 5, and 6. Because I do think we are okay to... Oh, and they do see a Ran, which is fine. We'll swing 6, getting out a 2k from their hand. They do give us a 2k, and we will pass the turn. That is fine, because the next turn we can look to play another Perona, stopping the Boa and the Ran from resting for another turn, making their Boa blocker practically useless for 2 turns. And they do play out a 5 cost Nami from EBO3, which does force us to take 1 card from the top of our life to our hand. They're swinging 7 into 6. We do not have a 2k counter, so I'm not sure if I really want to protect it giving 2 cards from hand. So we may look to let this go. And we will for sure let the Mihawk go. And we do see a 2k counter now. On our 8 Dawn turn, 1 turn away from dropping our 9 cost Mihawk. And we can stop their Boa and their 5 cost Nami from attacking with another 5 cost Perona on play. And we can also play out a Kyoshiro. So we will do that. We'll stop their Boa and their Nami from resting. Then we'll look to swing a 5 at their leader. They do take. Do they see a trigger? No trigger activated. We will swing a 6 with the Perona. They do give us a 2k. We'll play out the Kyoshiro for 2 and we'll pass the turn, leaving 1 Dawn standing for our Demon Aura event to go plus 3k power. And they do play a 9 cost Boa, giving us another 2k off of our life. They're swinging 6 into 6. We'll look to give a 1k counter. Just trying to keep our characters on the board for pressure. 5 into 5. We will look to also give another 1k counter, as they might start dropping these 9 cost Boas. So if we do this, we can rest them, stopping Ran, restanding 3, so we'd be at 4, 7, 7, 7, 1 Dawn active. Or no, we would Yeah, 1 9. Okay, we can do that. Deploy the 9 cost using our leader effect to rest the 9 costs, thus restanding 3 Dawn and using our 9 cost effect to force 4 cost Ran not to rest next turn. Then we can swing 5. Then we can swing 6, 7, 7, leave 1 Dawn active. They do block and it does get KO'd, giving us another 1 cost event. So we actually might save 2 of our Dawn cards, so we'll swing another 6. And they do give us a 2k, and then we'll swing a 7, leaving 2 Dawn active for our 2 events. They do take. And they do hit a trigger, searching top 4. And they do see a perfume femur. We'll pass the turn. So we are going to have to be cautious of our opponent looking to end game if we are at 0 life with a perfume femur getting through our Kyoshiro blocker. Our opponent attaching 1 Dawn to their leader, attaching 5 Dawn to their leader. So we can go look to +3. This may have to, we may have to look to block. We'll look to block with the Kyoshiro. We do have enough counter in hand to protect our Mihawk. Wondering if we do need to look to protect Perone as well. Do we need to go for game next turn? We have the Demon Aura to rest their blocker. They are swinging 12 into us. Do we need to look for game? Because the Demon Aura, we can also rest their blocker as well as their Dawn. So we may look to just take this and go for game next turn. Our opponent looking to swing 7 with the Nami, 7 into 6. We will just give a 2k. And now we are going to have to look for game, guys. Having to land 3 out of our 4 possible attacks. So we'll start with the Demonic Aura, resting their blocker. And we'll just rest the Ran as they have no active Dawn. Then we'll play out the Kukunojo for 1, using our leader effect to rest Kukunojo and restand 3. Then we can look to do 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9. So we can start with the 7 to force 2 cards out of their hand. No trigger. Then we can look to do an 8, forcing 2 2Ks. Oh, 9, my apologies. Nothing. We'll do another 9. And it's, yep. And they'll have to take the 10. Yep, and we do win the game. Yeah, that was very unfortunate. I guess our opponent was not thinking that we would look for game that turn. But just considering the situation, that we were in, we had to look for game because there was no way that we would be able to survive one more turn. So we'll go on to the next one. And we will be versing a red Trafalgar Law this game. And we are going second, so we do have a Tachigi play on turn 2. And we also can play out the Kikunojo, which can reset, so we'll keep this hand. Because it'll be nice to play out Kikunojo and then being able to rest Kikunojo for leader effect, and then Kikunojo restanding as active, being able to be a continuous rest option for us. Our opponent's leader swinging 8,000 power into us, we will look to take that. Seeing another 3-cost Dracula Mihawk. So we can look to play out the Mihawk, cheating out the Tashigi. We will look to attack with 7 first. They do take, play out the 3-cost Mihawk, cheating out the 4-cost Tashigi, and we'll pass the turn. Our opponent swings 6,000 power into our Tashigi, most likely then going to be swapping base powers. So we can look to give a Perona and a Mihawk in the following turn, but then we do not have a 5 Dawn turn play. Will it be worth it to continue the pressure? We'll look to protect the Tashigi. And we will give it 2k as well. Do you see another Kikunojo? So we can swing 2 into their 2, as our Kikunojo will restand at the end of the turn. And they do play out a Cavendish. We can look to swing 7 at their leader. Swinging another 7 at their leader. And they do take, and we will swing another 7 at their leader. Our opponent, I'm not sure why they're contemplating. I do feel like they have to give the counter. I think going out to 1 this early in the game is not going to be good for our opponent. They do give it 2k and a 1k, end of turn effect, restand, trashing the event to restand our Tashigi. We will allow our opponent to clear the 3-cost Mihawk. I do feel like this Trafalgar Law deck is very interesting. I do enjoy the gameplay of it. They are swinging the Rush 7-cost 8,000 power Zoro into us. We will look to take that. Seeing another event. Swinging 5,000 power into 3,000 power, we will have to let that go. Swinging another 7,000 power. We will give a 2k because we do know there is another 8,000 power attack coming when our opponent swaps their powers. And there is a 9,000 power attack. We will look to take that. And we do see a Zora blocker, very nice. So we can play out the 8-cost Mihawk, restanding 4 of our Dawn, then playing out our blocker Zoro, then using our leader effect to rest our Kikunojo, restanding 3 of our Dawn. Then we can look to swing 7s and leave 1 Dawn active. So we'll attach 1 to the Tashigi, swinging 7 into 5. Our opponent does take, and we'll attach another 1. Or should we? We may look to restand Tashigi, but our opponent does not have any blockers on the field. Would we die next turn? They would have 1, 2, 3, 4 with leader effect, and then possibly another rush 5 attacks. And we would have 1, 2 blockers, 1 life, 2 life for 3, and then we'd have counter. So we may be okay. So yeah, we'll attach 1 to our leader and swing another 7. Force more counter out of our opponent's hand. Our opponent giving us 3 1Ks, so they do not have counters. So if we do survive, we can look to... Okay, already active. I don't think this is worth, so we will leave it rested. Yes, our opponent using 3 1Ks does mean that they do not have counter in their hand. So as long as we do survive this turn, we should be okay. Our opponent's swinging 8,000 power into 6. We can look to give the 1-cost 3k power event, or we can just look to give. We'll look to just give the Tashigi. Just focusing on trying to survive this turn. And we do have the demonic aura to rest any blockers that they may play. 8,000 power into 6. We can look to use the event here to go to 9, which we will do, as it's just perfect math. 8, and then we can go to 9. Our opponent trying to figure out what to do, having 8 Dawn remaining. Our opponent only seeing 1 to 2k counter. So we know where they're gonna swap powers. They are searching with the 1-cost Luffy. Okay, they do see a 2k counter Bartolomeo. So we do know at least one of these 4 cards is a 2k. They might have 2 2ks from drawing for the turn. Our opponent's swinging 7 into 6. We will look to take that. We do want to try our best to keep these bodies on the board so that we may finish our opponent off the next turn. And looks like they will use their leader effect to give their Cavendish more power. Swinging 8,000 power to 6, we will look to take. Seeing another 1k. And what will our opponent do with 6 Dawn remaining? They rest 2 for the blocker. And that is it. Our opponent leaving 2 Dawn active, probably in preparation, knowing that we do have the demonic aura to rest their blocker as well as a Dawn, but I think we should still be okay. So we will do that. Demonic aura, resting the blocker, resting their Dawn. Then we will attach 1 to our lead, and we will swing 7 into 5, forcing our opponent to give us, see if they have a 2k, or maybe all 3 cards for 1ks. They do take. We'll swing 8 with the Mihawk. They give us a 2k, and or 2k, 1k, but they do not have it. Our opponent did have the event, but I guess it just wasn't worth it, or they just knew it was game regardless. Yeah, this match did feel very hard for the Trafalgar Law. Alright guys, on to the next one. And we are versing a yellow Bonney this game. Unfortunately, our hand, we do have a Tashigi to play on curve, but we don't have much counter, so we'll look to mulligan this hand. Okay, we do see a Kyoshiro, a Perona, and a Tashigi, as well as the event. This is a lot better, as well as a 2k. Our opponent playing out a Lilith and seeing a 4-cost Perona. We will look to play out the Kyoshiro and pass the turn. Swinging 5 into 5. We will look to take this. And we do see another 5-cost Perona off of life. Now we will look to play out the Mihawk to cheat out the 6k power Tashigi. Then we'll attach 1 to our lead, and we'll swing 6 into 5. Our opponent does give us 2 1ks, which is nice. We do know our opponent does not have any 2ks in hand, so we will pass the turn. That is very crucial knowledge, guys. You guys do need to make sure that you are paying attention to what your opponent is giving you as counter. Sometimes they will try and attempt to bait you by giving you 1ks instead of a 2k, but this early on into the game, it would not make any sense to give us 2 1ks instead of 1 2k. Our opponent on their 5 Dawn turn, trying to determine what they're going to do, playing out a 5-cost Boa Hancock, trashing the 3-cost Absalom, and stopping our 4-cost Tashigi from attacking, attaching 2 Dawn to their leader, swinging 7 into 5 into our leader. We will look to take that, seeing a 9-cost Mihawk, which is perfect for us. So we do see another 9-cost Mihawk off the top of our deck. So it seems like we did not have to see that right away, but that's okay. We will play out the 5-cost Perona, stopping their 2 characters from attacking next turn. And we can look to use our leader effect to arrest our Perona and restanding 3. And we can swing 6,000 power and 7. Or actually, would it be worth to save 1 Dawn? We do have a 2k. No, we will look to swing 6 and 7. Swinging 6,000 power with the Draco Mihawk into the leader. They do take. And they will activate a trigger And our opponent will play out the 4-cost Perona, stopping our Mihawk from attacking, but that being pretty much useless as we already attacked with the Mihawk. So we can now attack with our leader for 7. And our opponent does have to take, because we do know that they do not have a 2k counter in their hand. And they do see the Flame Split, which I think is called Blaze Slice in the English, resting our Kyoshiro blocker. And we'll pass the turn. We do have 4k counter in hand that we can use to protect, while our opponent does have 2 5k power attacks on their 7 Dawn turn. Most likely looking to play out the 7-cost Stussy. But going to 8 Dawn, we may want to look to keep the 5-cost Perona in our hand. Swinging 5 into the Kyoshiro blocker, we will look to just allow that to get cleared. Playing out the 3-cost Sindri blocker, attaching 2 Dawn to their leader, 2 Rusted onto their leader. Swinging 7 into 4, we can look to block and give a 2k. And playing out the 4-cost Dr. Hogback. Oh, and we do see another Kyoshiro blocker, which is very nice. So we can play out the Perona, stopping 2 of their attacks. So we do need to, and we'll play out the Kyoshiro blocker. So we will play out the Perona, stopping their Boa, and actually we can even stop their blocker from resting as well. But I think we'd rather stop an attack, just kind of slowing down their attacks. Then we can play out the Kyoshiro blocker, using the leader effect to rest our Perona that we just played to restand 3. And we can go 5, 7, 6, 6, leave 1 Dawn to then restand this. So we'll start with a 5 onto their lead. They do give us a 2k. Then we'll swing a 6 to their lead. They will block. Then another 6 to their leader. Which they do take, and no trigger. And we'll look to just swing another 6 to their leader. Our opponent does seem very slim on counter in their hand, which they do take, using the Hogback trigger. Playing out a Absalom rested. Then we will look to end our turn, using our Tashigi effect to pitch one of the 9-cost Mihawks to restand, as we already have another one in our hand anyways. Our opponent is in a very dire spot here. Swinging 5 into 4, we will look to let that get KO'd, as we want to look to protect our 6k power bodies with our blocker and our event. 5 into 5, because it's going to face, we will look to take that. And we do see a 2k counter off of life. Our opponent having 9 Dawn, they may look to use the 9-cost Bonney. Resting 8 Dawn to play out the 8-cost Gecko Moria. Being able to put the Sindri to top of life. And our opponent attaching 7, swinging 7 into 6. We do have enough counter in hand to survive, giving a 2k. Now into our 10 Dawn turn. We will look to play out the 9-cost Mihawk, using our leader effect to rest the Mihawk, restanding 3, stop the Moria from attacking next turn. Then we can look to swing 5, So we can swing 5, 6, 7, 7, pitch this to restand, and 1 for the event. So we'll start swinging 5 onto lead. They do give us a 1K. Then we will swing 6, or we'll swing with the 4 cost first. 6 into lead. Just in the event they do have anything, like their last life does have something to stop our 4 cost from attacking or being rested, like with the Blaze Slice. And stopping both of our Peronas from attacking. And unfortunately, that looks like that's all we can do. End of turn effect. Pitching the brick from hand to restand our blocker. What will our opponent do? Swinging 5 into 5. We can look to give a 1K off our hand. 5 into 5. We will look to take. Seeing a Kyoshiro. 5 into 5, we will give a 1K. Our opponent, 9 for the Bonney. Nine into 5. We can use this for 8, and then use this effect for 10, so we will look to trash the Tashigi to get us up to 7, use the event to get us up to 10, and we do have the Kyoshiro blocker to block the final attack, and that should be game, guys. Now we can just use this just to get rid of that one Dawn. Then we can swing a very easy 7 into 5. They only have 1 card in hand, so there's no way they have the counter for it. And we can finish. They do see a trigger, but it will have to play out a character arrested. So they will stop one of our attacks, but it can only be a 6 or less, so just be one of the Peronas, and we'll swing with the Mihawk to end the game. GG's, guys. Very awesome deck we have here, guys. This Mihawk deck is amazing. I cannot wait to play this deck when it comes out in North America. If you guys do like the content, please make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on to the next video. Peace.